Hello and welcome to Mayhem with your host, May.
Today I'm going to speak from my heart. Today I'm not going to use an outline or anything, because I want to talk about something that I've been struggling with for a very long time. I think I've probably been struggling with it for most of my life, and that is letting the past go. I thought recently that I've had a good handle on it, because I always used to talk about my traumas. I always used to, verbally diarrhea all over other people. When my brother died, I talked about him so much that my husband at the time was like, stop. Just stop. I don't want to hear about it anymore. It comes out of me. It just pours out of me. And recently, I had gotten to the point where I didn't talk about my past. I didn't say much. If I had a story to tell or something to relate, I would share that. But I thought that I had gotten to a point where I could let things go and I could move forward. And it turns out that I'm not any healthier now than I was then, because all I'm doing is stuffing everything inside. And I'm not letting out the pain and the hurt and the sorrow that I need to let out. And so when things happen, I fall apart instead of coming together to take care of it. I just fall apart. Last year I decided, after a lot of heartache, a lot of soul searching, that I did not want to be a part of my mother's life anymore. I knew everything that I would be sacrificing by making that decision. I knew all of the people that I would be sacrificing by making that decision. And I went into it with completely open eyes. And I did it. I know that I blame other people for my decisions at times, but I really didn't do it for anybody but me. I didn't do it because of anybody but me. I did it because every time I saw them and every time I went home, I didn't feel like a whole person. And I was weighed down, and I had to bear so much. Not because they put it on me, because it was my own obligation. It was socially mandated that I had to do all of these things and that I had to be this person. And I didn't know if I wanted to be that person or not. This is a person that was created for me, and it's a perfectly good person. But I wanted to create my own person. And so by not being the person that has been created for me, I was disappointing everybody, including myself. So I left. I left that idea of me. I left that person that was created, and I started creating my own person, being my own person, discovering who I am. And I struggled. I've been struggling this whole year with this problem. To the point that today I got a letter again, telling me what a disappointment I am. And it makes me fall apart. I thought I was strong. I think I am strong. But I feel like I have a whole lot more work ahead of me. And I wrote a letter pouring my heart out in March, saying I'm done. I thank you for everything that you've given me. I will always mourn, but I'm done, and I'm moving forward with my life. And so I did. I moved forward. I felt better. I felt freer. And then it always comes back, and I always fall down again, and it's a struggle. Every day's a struggle. And so I have these dreams of distance getting me away from it, or doing this gets me away from it, or doing that gets me away from it. And I keep trying to run away from it instead of turning around and facing the problem. And so I guess this is me saying, I'm facing it. I know that I did things that are not okay with society. I know that I did things that are not okay with morals or values. I know that I did things and I probably said things that you guys are not okay with. And I'm human. And everybody makes mistakes, and I made mistakes. I can't communicate very well. I can't open myself up to other people very well. I have these big, huge, tall walls that I don't want to crawl away from very easily. And I struggle every day. But at the end of the day, am I happy with the person I'm creating? Yeah. Am I happy with what I'm creating and putting out into the world? Yes. Am I happy with the future plans that I have for my life and for my podcast and for me to share with the world and I'm excited about? Yes. I am more creatively in tune with myself than I have ever been in my entire life. And if walking through the pain and walking through letting go and walking through all of this madness brings me closer to that, then I will walk through all of this madness to get closer to that, because that's where I want to be. That's what I want to nurse it into. That's what I want to nuzzle up with at the end of the day, is that creativity and that muse. And so I know that historically artists are always the most tortured people. And I also know that I have been a child of privilege. I have been a child of means. And that I have a lot more going for me than a lot of people. I recognize that and I appreciate that. I didn't bring this pain on myself to be an artist. I brought this pain on myself to be a person. And being an artist came with it. Yeah, that's all I got. I'm out. Let's see, let's talk about some books that are pleasing me right now. I'm just going to talk about a book that was really fun to read and really enjoyable and just was an overall delight. And that book was The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I'm not going to tell you what happens, but let me tell you, it was a joy. It was so beautiful. It was such a pleasant book. There was moments when I was reading this book where I'm like, I can't finish this chapter tonight. I think I know what she's going to do, and I can't do it. I cannot walk there with her. And then the next day, I went back to that chapter and I finished it, and she didn't do what I expected. And that was such a breath of fresh air. Of this woman living her life proudly and truly and exactly who she was. The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. By, I think her name's Taylor Reed something. She wrote Daisy and the Six as well. But it was phenomenal. It was a phenomenal book. So, this was a heavy episode, so there's an uplifting, lighthearted book that I recommend. I mean, this is my favorite book this year so far. Hands down. Fiction book, 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Non-fiction book, Untamed by Glennon Doyle. There you go. I'm done. I'm out. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a wonderful day. And when it comes to letting go, you think you're there. You're never really there until you'll know when you are. You'll know when you're through it. Glennon says that you don't write about scratches. You don't write about cuts while they're bleeding. You write about scars. And I keep trying to write about the situation. I keep trying to write about my mother, and I can't because I keep bleeding. And so I'm waiting for it to scar. And when it does, I can write. But I hope that you can face the struggle and become who you're supposed to be, even through the letting go process. Thank you so much. Have a good one. I'll talk to you later.